Did you know that for this movie, Maggie Smith completed filming this movie while undergoing radiotherapy as treatment for breast cancer? So I consider The Half-Blood Prince to be a very dark turning point in the franchise. It's the movie that really turns everything on its head, really changes the trajectory of the entire franchise. It's a very solid movie. This isn't my favorite Harry Potter movie, but it's up there as one of my favorites. It's in my top three. And I have three things that I love about this movie, and my last thing is definitely my favorite. First thing I like about this movie is I like the dark tone of this movie. Half-Blood Prince really takes a pretty deep dive into the darkness in a lot of different ways. I mean, right off the bat, we start off with the Death Eaters kidnapping Mr. Ollivander from the wand shop and terrorizing the people of London. We get to dive deep into the memories of Voldemort, seeing him as a kid, the memory of Slughorn talking to Tom about Horcruxes, what a Horcrux is. You know, the Horcrux part itself is dark because we talk about murder, what murder does to the soul, and how to get the Horcruxes. And then the possession part, that scared me a little bit when I was a kid when I saw this movie in theaters. That possession part was kind of scary to me because I never watched movies with possession in it. So that was a big dark part there too. We see possession, we see cursed objects. And then Draco and Borgin and Burke's, the cabinet, the vanishing cabinet, kind of the darkness there, kind of utilizing that darkness. He's playing with fire. Like we see Draco, he's trying to step up, he's trying to be the man, he's trying to make up for the fact that his father is now in Azkaban. And he's, the runner-up. He's who Voldemort wants to kill Dumbledore in the end, but also he's kind of the integral piece. He's kind of the intermediate person between Hogwarts and the Death Eaters and allowing the Death Eaters to enter Hogwarts unseen. It's really quite cool. It really is cool. It's really genius. It's really fun to see that. You see Draco starts to slip into darkness. He's scared of himself. He's scared of Voldemort. He's scared of failing. But one of the things I really liked about this movie, along with the story, is the relationships that are developed in this movie. A lot of the relationships with Harry, it's either Harry and Snape, or Harry and Dumbledore, or Harry and Slughorn. And each one of those relationships is very important. Like each one of those relationships is vital, is integral to the story, to the plot, to furthering Harry's journey. And each one is very different, very unique, and very special. The relationship between Harry and Dumbledore, honestly, is one of my favorite relationships in the Harry Potter franchise. Dumbledore is an amazing friend, an amazing person to have in Harry's life, someone who Harry really, really needs. But he's also kind of a grandfather figure, I'd say. He really loves Harry, he really does. He's just a remarkable old man, a remarkable character. He's such a kind man. I'd say that's the best way to describe Dumbledore, is a very kind-hearted man, more kind than most people. And then my favorite part of this movie is the cave scene, the astronomy tower, and then the rest of the movie after that. Cave scene, I love the darkness of it. I love the very mysterious, ominous stuff going on there. But my favorite part of the cave scene is when Dumbledore does that fire spell. Absolutely wild. I don't know what the fire spell is called, but that scene is just like epic. Like it's such an epic flex by Dumbledore, showing Harry like, hey, I'm out of it, I'm drunk on this stuff, but man, I still got it. I can still bring the heat. I can get us out of this. And he saved Harry from those creatures. And I love seeing the power of Dumbledore at work. I love seeing just how powerful he is. And he doesn't even really try either. It's just easy for him. And then the astronomy tower scene breaks my heart. It's such an emotional scene. There's just so much conflicting emotions going on when you watch Harry react as Dumbledore says him to, Dumbledore tells Harry, trust me. Harry trusts him. And then, Snape comes along. It looks like Snape's gonna get Dumbledore out of this because he tells Harry not to make a sound. So I think in Harry's mind, he's thinking Snape's gonna somehow get Dumbledore out of this. Snape turns around, kills Dumbledore, and then he goes off with the Death Eaters. Then he tells Harry who he is, the Half-Blood Prince. But I just can't help feeling all the anger and confusion and just hate that Harry is feeling at this moment, the complex emotions that arise from what happened. I mean, it's a shock. It's such a shock. It comes out of nowhere. And then when everyone's throwing their wands up to remember Dumbledore, the music is playing, like, absolutely beautiful, beautiful scene. Maybe one of the most beautiful Harry Potter moments out there. That part just really tugs at my heartstrings. So for the Half-Blood Prince, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10 Mudflaps. And remember, leave me a thumbs up and drop in the comments below. What was your favorite part from the Half-Blood Prince? See you next time.